What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to B West Builds. Welcome back to Shop Talk. We haven't done one of these in a while, so I figured, well, it's probably time. Just sit around, chit chat for a little bit about what's going on with these projects here. So some big progress on the 73 Mach 1 Mustang here. As many of you probably saw, I drove this car for the first time the first time I've ever driven it, but the first time it's ever moved under its own power in probably over 30 years, from the best I can tell. That was a huge accomplishment. Absolutely did great. Had to add a little bit of transmission fluid to it, adjust a few things, but other than that, suspension seemed good. Obviously, doesn't have the full weight of the car yet. There's no front bumper, no interiors, no glass, so it doesn't have the full weight of the car yet on the suspension, but it's pretty well there. No major shifting of anything. It drove out really good. I was impressed. Luke rode with me once around the block, and he said the same thing. He's really impressed how well it did. If you hear some background noise, just don't mind the crickets, and there's a band playing about 3 blocks over from my house. So don't take this video down if you hear any copyrighted music. It's not my fault, I swear. Check out this clip here of us driving the car for the first time. Check it. All right, this time on B West Builds, watch Luke and I drive this 73 Mustang Mach 1 out of this garage under its own power for the first time in over 30 years. Check it out right here.
Be free!
Okay.
So this shifting.
It's capable of it. Probably not enough throttle position to be in first then second. A little rattly.
No interior.
No, zero interior. Forward, still moving. So yeah, that was awesome. Drove the car for the first time, I think July 5th was when it was, the day after 4th of July. And I have driven it a few times since then. Only ran into really one hiccup, which was having to add transmission fluid. When I put the transmission in this car, the transmission was rebuilt. I rebuilt it when I went through college for automotive technology, right after high school, and I got it rebuilt. I ran it on a transmission dyno, it shifted, and it worked. Well, it sat for a few years before I got it put in the car. When I put it in the car, I did another service to it. I dropped the transmission pan, changed the filter, put all new fluid in it. I'm wanting to say that I did fill the converter full of fluid. This is a full-size converter. It probably takes at least a couple of quarts to fill it up. And I had to add at least 2 quarts of transmission fluid to this car. It did drive, and it drove okay previous to that. However, prior to the video clip that you just saw, I'd only spun the wheels on the jack stand. I hadn't actually, the car hadn't actually, pushed itself down the road, moved under its own power. So that was a little bit different. It did fine. It drove out okay. It was a little sluggish on the shifts. Didn't want to hit first gear real hard. Kind of just stayed in second the whole time, which is kind of normal for just real light to no throttle and part throttle. stays in cruising gear the whole time. It did fine. The only thing I really noticed that once you let it warm up at all, it had a delayed shift into gear, into drive or reverse. It delayed, actually just going into gear, engaging. So another thing that Luke and I noticed was there was a strange kind of a whine / rattle sound on startup. It went away after about 35-40 seconds. Thought that was kind of weird. Come to find out, it was just the pump and the transmission probably cavitating and starving for fluid. So got the fluid put in. I put some good Type F in it. I did put about probably half a bottle of the Lucas transmission slip fix in it, not because I felt it slipping, but just to make sure all the bands and everything in there are lubricated good, have the good friction compounds on them that they're supposed to have. This thing did sit a lot, and it does sit a lot. It doesn't get driven every day, so a lot of that fluid, a lot of stuff will run off of there. It'll drain back down. So I just want to make sure that it has the best fluid in it that it can have. Other than that, everything else is going pretty good. We did start on our roof repair. As you can see, I'll insert a couple of pictures of that right here. I do plan to have a more full-length video on kind of how the process I went through on doing this roof repair. I'm not quite done with it yet. I have to do some massaging on the metal patch that I made to get it to come down against this pillar right here and this part of the window channel right here. So I'm working on that here and there. I've got some exhaust hangers I need to put on the car because right now they're just wired up with mechanics wire to keep the mufflers up and to keep some of the weight off the full exhaust, because this car really doesn't have a spot for an exhaust hanger until you get to the muffler, and then of course it has one for the tailpipe after it goes up and over the rear axle. So got that to do. I do have the rest of the exhaust to put on it, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to hang the hangers by the mufflers and get those attached with some exhaust clamps, get that done. That way there's no strain on the exhaust. I have Global West subframe connectors to put on this car. That's also going to be another video coming up. I'm going to try and get better about posting. I know that YouTube wants consistent posts like the same day, same time. I'm going to try and start doing Sundays. I'm not sure what time exactly on Sundays, but that's about the best time that I have, free time, to edit and upload videos. So I'm gonna try and do it on Sundays. I'm gonna try and have a video every single week for you guys at least. I'm gonna try and get a little bit more consistent about uploading to the channel. Apologize for my sweat and my wet t-shirt. It's like 100% humidity out here in Central Illinois right now, so have to forgive me for that. But yeah, car's doing good. Another little update I can share with you is I've started to take the stripes off of the car. Those stripes were old vinyl decals. The side stripes and the trunk stripe on Mach 1s on all generations of this body style of Mach 1 are all vinyl. They're not paint. Now the hood, on the other hand, right here, this argent silver on the hood, that's paint. So when I do this, I'm gonna have to get a stencil kit and redo the hood and paint. But everything on the side is a vinyl decal. And these vinyl decals, of course, need to come off so that I can prep this whole fender and repaint it. Now a lot of this blue paint is going to stay on here. It's just gonna get sanded down a lot. And as you can see, I've already started to sand on some of this too. Same thing with this front one here, where this was around the little marker light here. Now, we did find that this fender has a little bit of filler in it. At one point, this car must have gotten into a little bit of a fender bender, and it's got a little crease here in the metal, which I think what they did was they tried to pull it out, probably with a slide hammer, and then they re-welded it and then put filler over it. That's not a big deal. You know, you'll have filler in cars. Obviously, you've seen the quarter panel on this car. I'm gonna have quite a bit of filler in it on the seam to get the contour of the top half of the quarter panel that is original, that I did not replace. So it is gonna have some filler in it. Once I get this all sanded down, I'm gonna go over this with just a skim coat of body filler and then sand it all down. That way it's all uniform and smooth. Like I said, this paint's gonna stay on here. However, it's just gonna get sanded down. It's gonna get probably an epoxy primer over it before it gets painted. This paint is in pretty good condition. It's not really flaking off really bad anywhere. It's just an old single stage paint job. From what I can tell and from what I know about the car, it's been painted twice. Once it was painted originally, and then it was painted again probably in the 80s sometime. So you can kind of tell there's some different shades in certain places where, you know, they didn't quite get the metallic right on the where they blended it, but it looks pretty good. But it's gonna look even better after we get it painted right here on the channel. That's gonna be a big process and a big video process as well. So I'm hoping that along with the bodywork portion, I can get you guys quite a bit of information and quite a bit of video on the paint job. So if I haven't said it on here before, I'll say it right now. This car is gonna get painted right here, more than likely in this garage. I'm gonna have to set up kind of a temporary booth in here with some drop cloth and some plastic and wet the floor down. And but that's why ultimately I bought that air compressor right there, so I could use air tools to sand and body work and then ultimately paint the car. So we're definitely moving in the right direction. We've got a lot of progress done here in the recent months, but we've got a lot more to go. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Shop Talk. It was really just a project update more than a shop talk, but it's good, right? You know, getting the video out there to you guys. So like I said, I'm gonna be better about posting. This one's gonna go up on Sunday, which is tomorrow. I'm shooting this Saturday night, and hope to see you guys around for the next one. Like always, be sure to like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate the support for the channel, and we'll see you guys next time right here on B West Builds.